আমরা করব জয় আমাদের স্পেশাল অনুষ্ঠানে আপনাদের সবাইকে আমন্ত্রণ আজকে আমাদের স্পেশাল গেস্ট গ্যারি জার্নফেল্ড উনি একটা social worker in the GTA and we are very excited to have him today. So Gary, welcome to our show.
Julie, so good to be with you today.
Thank you. We'd like to start off by asking Gary a little bit about his background and how you came to this field of social work.
Sure. Well, 63 years old, look at the gray hair. I have been working with people now for 37 years. I graduated with a master's degree in social work in 1985. In terms of how I came to this, I came to it rather honestly in that I have or had two very nice parents. And they got along well and they were always engaged in volunteer work and community work. And so over time, I had an interest in psychology and from psychology shifted to social work and the rest is history.
Nice. So you've been practicing for about
37 years working with people, 35 years since I graduated. In many ways it feels like yesterday because I love what I do.
Yeah.
And I love working with people and to the degree to which I may be helpful, that makes it worthwhile.
So you're never going to retire? You're not retired.
You know what? I don't know that I'll retire. I may scale back or I may work differently. A year ago, moved to Keswick, Ontario, where we used to cottage. And so at least I'm in an environment that is, not city.
Yes.
So it's more relaxing. We have, a view of the lake. So it's not that I've retired, but I'm working from a more relaxed capacity. How's that?
Yes, I like that. That's a good retirement plan. Wanted to ask you, in the last 30-some years, what kind of dramatic change or any subtle changes have you seen with the kind of people that seek your expertise?
Good question. Things have changed over 37 years of practice. In many ways, life was simpler. We didn't have the internet. The economy overall was more stable. And so over 37 years, if we just look at the economy, the ups and downs have been more frequent and more severe. And with every downtick in the economy, we've lost better paying jobs. And then with the economy coming back, we have more jobs, but they're lower paying. And so this has had a tremendous effect on families. So now families where you used to be able to survive with a single breadwinner in the family, you can't anymore. Or, okay, you can, but it is really, really difficult. So for families to survive, we have dual income earners. And then if we have separated families, absolutely both persons have to be income earners. So that means we're also going to be, over time, more disconnected from our very own children because we're earning a living just to keep the lights on. So this adds stress. This adds stress. And so we saw the divorce rate rise. And, so along with that, how does that affect people?
Yeah.
Disconnected, more anxiety, more depression, way more anger. Enter the internet. Fabulous tool to connect us, to reach out, to learn about one another. Then Internet 2.0, we can communicate live in the here and now and with social media. But to keep that stuff alive, to cause it to grow, it feeds on controversy. So we're seeing more binary thinking. What do I mean by that? Black and white. You're either for me or against me. A lot of tribal disputes. I belong to this tribe, you belong to that tribe. Never the twain shall meet. And so we're seeing far more hate, far more anger, particularly in a sense where it is legitimized and then people talk about their free speech rights, which doesn't mean it's still right to slam other people.
Right.
So there's been tremendous changes, political, sociological, economic, and technological, that combined is making life more difficult these days.
So Gary, your expertise has been working with separated parents, and so can you tell us a little bit about the impact on the individuals and their families?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No one enters into a relationship saying, and I hope in 5 years it doesn't work, or I hope in 10 or 20 years, and I hope we wind up in a big hot mess fighting over our kids. No one enters into a relationship looking for this. Unfortunately, not all relationships work out. And so we deal with grief, we deal with loss, we deal with fear. Will I have the same kind of relationship with my children as I would in an intact family? And so that drives worry on behalf of both separating parents. And when we look at the economy today, particularly in Toronto and large urban Canadian centers, housing is so expensive that many separating parents are forced into a situation where they still have to cohabit. So now I continue to share space with someone with whom I can't get along.
So you have had parents that are divorced, but they're living together under the same roof because
Correct. So we really encourage parents to manage their conflict, to seek help, to seek support as best as possible. Don't get into the court system, quite frankly, because it is a system that's adversarial in nature. I win to the degree to which I make the other parent look bad. Well, if I'm on the other side of that, being made to look bad, I'm going to reciprocate and make you look worse. And then we escalate the dispute. But if we go to other strategies, what we call peacemaking strategies, which isn't to say, I'm going to make you love the other person. No, it's peacemaking in terms of resolving the issues, not in terms of ever living together or having to even like the person. But in peacemaking strategies, mediation, we don't need to prove who was the worser of the parents, or something called collaborative family law, where if you feel you still need lawyers to resolve things, they can do so reasonably in a room, not in a courthouse, where we can sit round table and they can walk you through the conversation. Or you can meet with a counselor, or you can meet with, we call them divorce coaches, persons who can help you manage your own feelings in the process, so you bring your better self
to the table.
Wow. So it has formed a substantial part of my practice, not all of my practice, and I continue to do much of this work, but I no longer go to court. It's become way too nasty, and few people leave there feeling satisfied. And in today's day and age, if somebody doesn't like the outcome, you have to ask yourself, what's the likelihood of them following through meaningfully? So you can get a court order. Court order doesn't ensure appropriate behavior.
That's a personal responsibility.
That's right. But if we can come to an agreement through mediation or collaborative family law or counseling, then we have buy-in in terms of the outcome. And you may not love it, but because there's buy-in on both sides, you have a greater likelihood of both persons following through more meaningfully. And peace is important to children.
Great. We'll be right back after this short break.